How are you doing? I know you're competitive, so you must have wanted the mirror ball. We're probably a little bummed, but I mean, is the body happy to be done?
Oh my gosh, my back has hurt since the first week that I was there. And I think I just, I'm older. So- and I was not in shape to go. I was not physically prepared to go from 0 to 100 like that, because I didn't know. Although I had talked to some people. Let me put some backstory to it. The team and I had been invited to Dancing with the Stars live tour back in March, right before the pandemic happened. So, and I'm a huge fan of the show. I've watched since season 1. So super excited to go. We went to the show. We got to go backstage and meet the cast. So I actually met Val back there, and the first thing he said to me, hold on, let me get my the first thing that he said to me was that he wanted me to be his partner. So I was like, whoa. So obviously he planted the seed back in March, but I didn't hear anything else about it until about a week before I flew out to LA. So I definitely did not quarantine in the way that I should have, had I known that I was going to be on Dancing with the Stars, because I definitely am a competitor. I would have worked out. I would have studied ballroom dancing. I knew nothing. So I definitely went in not physically prepared, and I knew nothing about dance. I don't have a dance background. I have a cheerleading background, and a lot of people kind of think that those are the same, but they're completely different. And so yeah, I went in not prepared, but I didn't have a choice, because it was so last minute. So my back was having to do a lot of bending that it hasn't done in a long time. I was putting a lot of pressure on it. So my back was pretty much hurting after the first week. So I took a lot of Tylenol and ibuprofen and I don't really like to take medicine at all. So, just the fact that I was having to take that every day just to get through rehearsals was already kind of crazy to
Wait,
me. But
I
yeah, my
mean,
body's definitely happy to have a little break. But yeah, I've been trying to work out some and it still hurts my back. So I'll have to go probably get it checked out or something. I don't know.
it's so funny you say that about the medicine. I'm the same way. I'm like, I don't want an Advil. I'm like, I would rather feel my pain and know where my body's at than like numb this. But did
Yeah.
part of you feel like, oh, I might be able to swing this? It's just dancing. Like, being honest, I think before you actually try ballroom dancing, it looks like, not easy, but it looks like it's probably not going to hurt you as bad as it did.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, I'm competitive, so I'm always up for any challenge. I think I could probably go and, play baseball with somebody in the pros or something. That's how much weird confidence I have in myself. So the challenge, I was up for the challenge. I was like, how hard could it be? But it was actually very hard. Um, much harder than I thought, and the technique. Obviously, you have to have the technique down, and the way that my body has been trained for since I was little was kind of completely different than what you have to do in ballroom dancing. So I got yelled at quite a bit for my posture, because you want your shoulders down in ballroom dancing, and I've trained my body to have my shoulders up so much that it was a natural instinct for me just to be in this certain position that was completely opposite than ballroom dancing. So it was not just learning something new, but kind of retraining my body to do something that felt very unnatural. So that, and then just the mental part of it, it was strange, because I am so confident in most things that I do, and I felt very inadequate, and I felt very vulnerable, and I'm not really used to being in that kind of position. So it was tough physically and it was tough mentally.
Right, because you're usually the coach, and now here you are being coached and waiting for your score and your evaluation. Was any part of you like, is this how my kids feel?
Well, I definitely, yeah, for sure. But even as the coach, I think I've trained myself to be very gracious even when you lose, because when you lose, those are really some of the biggest moments of growth. So my mindset with bad scores was fine. I mean, I was still had an attitude of gratitude for being there. So that was not a problem. I just couldn't understand the score. So that was the part I was kind of beating myself up on, because I'm so used to a score sheet. I'm so used to a rubric, which is what we get, that shows you what range you can score in based on the difficulty that you're doing and the technique. So it's very easy for me to create a routine based on how I want it to score. Obviously, we have to execute, but I know that if we're doing certain skills in a certain range, that at least that's the range that we're shooting for. And with this, I learned quickly it was a reality TV show that was produced. So I had to kind of let that go. It really kind of ate me up the first 2 or 3 weeks. I really wanted to know, like, what are they looking for? What am I going to get scored on? And Val kept telling me, like, you're overthinking it. Just relax. And so, you know, in order to not kind of let that stress me out, I just had to let that go and go, you know what? It's a reality TV show. I just need to, you know, put that in my mind. I'm going to go work as hard as I can. But at the end of the day, if they don't like what I'm doing, they don't like what I'm doing, and that's all I can do.
Hi guys, it's JC
and Chelsea
from the What We Said podcast, and we are hosting a virtual live event on December 8th.
We're going to be playing interactive games. You guys can win some prizes. It's going to be a fun time. We'll see you there.